It's a pleasure to be here. And I just thought I would tell you a little bit about the Anaïs Nin Foundation, that we're entering this really exciting and new phase, undergoing major reorganization and bringing on dynamic new board members. We're in a good place to start 2026 and beyond, and we're definitely a long way away from the Henry Miller Memorial Library and gathering scholars like you together. To give some history, before she died in 1977, Anaïs Nin suspected her literary appeal would endure, making and even continue to grow. So she planned her estate accordingly, making sure both of her husbands, her brother Joaquin and her stepbrother Eric, would continue to benefit from her royalties. She also positioned her younger husband, Rupert Pohl, as literary executor. Rupert did some serious restructuring of the trust in 1981 to edit out a couple of underperforming board members, including Nin's unproductive biographer, Evelyn Hintz, who ultimately sat on Nin's papers without producing a biography or permitting anyone else to do so. Rupert continued as the main trustee of the Nin estate, overseeing new publications such as the Unexpurgated Diaries and giving permission to the 1990 film Henry and June, which I'm sure everyone here has seen. In 1996, however, with the publication of Deidre Baer's well-researched but heavily unflattering and biased biography, coupled with the revelations of Nin's bigamy and incest, Nin's reputation really took a nosedive in academia as well as general readership. So Nin entered a dormant phase with tiny sales, and her loyal editor and champion, Gunther Stolman, also died in 2002. Rupert died in 2006, and the trust passed on to the only surviving individual named by Anaïs, the architect Eric Wright, grandson of Frank Lloyd Wright. By default, the Wright family took possession of Nin's house, possessions, paperwork, and art left by Rupert Pohl, without experience or a clear plan of how to best manage her literary legacy other than to keep collecting the royalties. The trust was administered by the Wright family until 2018, when it became a nonprofit. And then began my involvement, in which slowly began the foundation back on the road to where we think it should be. As president, my first order of business was Nin's uncollected archives. So 15 years of Nin's life was not donated to the UCLA collection. This is work that Nin purposely omitted, which would be some diaries and letters detailing her real relationships with people such as Henry Miller. I discovered that these boxes of the original archives were in cardboard boxes and a metal storage container housed on a hillside in Malibu. So these invaluable papers were in a very vulnerable position. So it was my first order of business where I spearheaded and physically helped move these archives to a safe storage space. And 3 months later, that hillside in Malibu burned. So I'm very proud to say that those documents are saved. And thanks. Yeah. And also, it pains me that these important papers were not accessible to scholars for decades, where it stalls scholarship, and it also, not only for Nin, but people like yourself who would be interested in these letters and all of the things that are revealed in Nin's diaries. So this conference happens at such a perfect time while I'm going through the archives in a storage locker, no less. But going through and cleaning them and debugging them, and also prepping them for UCLA, but I was able to bring some of the letters here. So they're on display. There's also some on electronic display you could see. There's also going to be 25 of those letters that you can handle and look at on Saturday at, I think it's 11:30. So, yeah, at 11:30 on Saturday. So, I've been working hard at moving this from family to foundation, creating structure and organization, and it's already so inspiring to see so many people energized and dedicated to Miller, and I hope one day to organize a similar conference for Anaïs. So I encourage all of you to visit our website and sign up for our mailing list to find out more information. Also, we're also on social media, and I look forward to talking with all of you. Thank you.